current affairs program, Good Morning Salone.
From New Englandville studio, good morning and welcome to the final edition of the program Good Morning Salone for this week, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today, na Friday, June 12, 2020. We will bring you this Friday edition of the program Good Morning Salone. Musa Eskamara na minim.
And Mina Khadija Bangora, good morning. Inside the program this Friday morning, the Director of Public Education and Outreach and the Anti-Corruption Commission, Patrick Sandy, don say dem get 3 people na dem custody where the Scorpion squad been caged na the District Health Management Team na Bo, where dem say be dey collect money from nurse dem for give dem PIN code.
In effect, na 3 dey na custody, and 1 na the District Health Sister 1, and then we get 2 midwives. We na then actually be involved in the collection of the forms and the money.
The Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education go open school for NPSC, Beke and WASC school pikin dem July 1st this year. And today inside the program, we go look inside the operation of the situation room at the National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center.
Well, this and plenty other stories them day na the program for you, plus for celebrate International Albinism Awareness Day, when at tomorrow June 13, with the theme Made to Shine. We go look how this day important to people and where they live with albinism na Salone. And walk about self day inside the program for you. Members say they listen we live on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, courtesy of Osiwa and powered by Africell. And self they listen we live from Radio Shalom 89.5 na Koinadugu, Radio Malen 88.5 and Radio 1J 101.1 na Pujaun District, Radio Kolenten 90.0 na Cambia, Radio Mua 105.5 na Kailaun District, and Voice of Karine 98.0 na Kamakwe Karine District. The program na Good Morning Salone. You can be part of by week. You send text message to the number 0779819881. 0779819881 are the number for be part of the program, or you go on our Facebook page and drop a comment inside the program Good Morning Salone.
We dey continue with the program, and today we dey begin the program for look inside different support them where organization them don dey give for the fight against the coronavirus. Well, as you hear from one power headline them for celebrate International Albinism Awareness Day wey na tomorrow June 13 with the theme Made to Shine. We go look at different thing them where people living with albinism don they go through na the country, and self how the organization don they work for develop people them where they part of this organization. Well, for can look at this year celebration and some party thing them we then get for do. Now the studio with we this morning we get the director for persons living with albinism we go can tell we this morning some party thing them we they don't put together for do as way for member this day. Well, I want to welcome Mohammed Kamara. We with this morning. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. My name is Mohammed Kelfalasisi and I'm the programs officer at the Sierra Leone Albinism Foundation. I want to say good morning to listeners as well.
It's continue for the with we na the program. We they continue with the program. Plenty organization them don't they help inside the fight against the coronavirus, and don't they support poor community them way one by the organization here and the initiative for young women and girls with disability. We don't go give face mask and other thing them for it to disabled people them. Madam Masire Brahma, na the executive director for this organization, he said this na way for complement government efforts by the fight against the coronavirus. He talk more where the organization been go support the organization been get support from EcoBank, Microfinance and Bloodline Sisters. Then we go give 30 bag rice, 30 gallon oil and face mask to different disabled group them. We reporter Karifa to Conte been they part of this donation, and they gonna report.
When they encourage all Salone people for wear face masks as well for fight the coronavirus. The disabled community na one of the community dem wey people think say dem dey get challenge for use the face masks because of access and other thing dem wey make the initiative for women and girls with disability go support dem company disabled dem with face masks and thing for it. Masire Brahma na the executive director.
We decide for do this basically because everything we mandate, we say we for advocates for the rights of persons with disability. So if we advocate for their rights, not only for advocates for their rights, to ensure so we empower them. We at a time like this when we experience COVID-19. We as an organization, we don't supply sanitary kits. These are the third donation that they do since COVID don't start. We don't supply rice through Caritas, so they support we. We don't supply sanitary kits. There are over 20 buckets in Watalo. Local commercial bank that they support we. Then today we dey supply rice. We not 30 bags of rice with 30 gallons of oil to persons with disability, and we get for give them 2 marks each for complement government in efforts because not all disabled person they able buy marks at this moment. Then secondly, we believe say at a time like this where a crisis day, people living with disability we deserve more. And they say we deserve more because somebody not go might ask. Because me say self not a disabled person, but I they take the risk for go out for advocates to ensure say we put smile on the face of the police at this time. If you give somebody food at this time, it will be the happiest somebody.
Masire Brahma continue for encouraging people here for use face masks for go by government policy for help fight COVID-19 at the country.
Now the first now then you for use masks more than any other person because we are at high risk of every pandemic, every disease, every outbreak. We are at a high risk of everything. So if we use masks, I think say make a tell and say make them forget the denial, make them believe say COVID day. And you person with disability, if you see don't tell you allow you get in contact with this COVID-19, you there in the state of jeopardy because already you're vulnerable. Forbid you can't get COVID-19. Now you complete state of jeopardy you go there. Yes, of course. Let me tell you say this is not the first one, this COVID-19. This is not third donation this I don't do. And I get for intensify me advocacy for see say I do more. Not only in Freetown, I even there for extend at the provinces. But it depends to how I get for get the resources. But I will intensify my advocacy.
After this, I've been talk to people and we benefit and be get for tell me about how they feel.
I feel good and proud. Can do the thing there. Let them continue for support me. Let them continue for do for we more. I deserve thank you to this organization. Let them can do the thing.
So I feel very comfortable. I feel fine. I feel good. I'm glad for this organization for what they do for persons with disability.
Well, we tell Papa God thank you. We tell them thank you because for the mere fact they think of person living with disability, now a big kudos and we have to appreciate God for everything waiting God don't do. One for tell them Boko thank you.
Then people here end up tell thank you to this organization and self call on government and Soyat organization them for give them more support for the Society for Radio Democracy. Mina Karifa to contest the report.
The program na Good Morning Salone where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM still looking to support them way different organizations then don't give to different people them as a way for support the fight against the COVID-19 na Salone. Outside the annual Old Girls Association worldwide don't go give gloves, hand sanitizer, hand washing station, face masks to the Macaulay Street Government Hospital in Freetown, and self give face mask and washing station and other thing them to the Annual Memorial School. Sylvia Boyle, na the president for the Annual Old Girl Association Awoga, say this na the own support for help government when they fight against the coronavirus na the country. You know, Kabia get more Igona reports.
Na about 71 years now, with some women them we attend the Annual Memorial School. Being from the Annual Old Girls Association, Awoga, usai over the past year them, then don't they give scholarship to picking them where they attend the Annual Memorial School, organize program them, and safe don't they give support to different community them na the country. As part of their own way for help government for fight the coronavirus where they now na the country. Make the Annual Old Girls Association, Awoga, don't they go na different community them where they around the Annual Memorial School. Outside they don't they go talk to them, but the coronavirus where they now na the country. Where this make the Annie Walsh Old Girls Association worldwide don't go give their own support to the Annie Walsh Memorial School and save the Macaulay Street Hospital for fight the coronavirus where they now na the country. Sylvia Buell, now the president for the Annie Walsh Old Girls Association Freetown.
The Annie Walsh Old Girls Association, commonly known as AWOGA, with branches in the United States of America, that is Washington, New York, New Jersey, Carolinas, Southeastern Texas, and in Canada, UK, Nigeria, Banjul, and Freetown, embarked on 2 initiatives for our school, the Annie Walsh Memorial School, and Sierra Leone specifically, the community surrounding the AWMS, in battling COVID-19 pandemic. As a consortium, resources were pulled from the various branches of AWOGA to provide for specific needs to tackle the pandemic for both initiatives.
In continue say, dengue hand sanitizer, soap, water, was hand station and other things them to the Macaulay Street Hospital.
For the community outreach, the Macaulay Street Government Hospital, situated at Macaulay Street, Freetown, Sierra Leone, has been selected as beneficiary. The AWOGA Consortium is presenting various items to the hospital for use by staff as well as patients based on a needs assessment requested from the lead staff at the hospital. Today's donations include face masks, disinfectants, infrared thermometers. We have 2 pedal hand washing machines. We have other items, soap, cleaning items, shield, face mask, gloves. We've got here face masks for the patients, for those who come in and maybe are not protected. And their best in need was water. They said they needed water, and we got 500 bundles of Grafton spring water. We pray that the contributions we have made today will make an impact in assisting our nation as it strives to manage the COVID-19 in Sierra Leone. May God bless us all, and may God bless Sierra Leone.
But waiting at the team them where they get to the Annie Walsh Memorial School. Sylvia Buell again.
For our school, AWOGA is providing facial masks, 8 pedal-operated hand-washing stations, hand sanitizers, thermometers, chlorine, disinfectants, hand-washing soap, cleaning supplies, gloves, and other items. These should all be in place before the forthcoming Beke and WASC.
Sylvia Buell end up say the Annie Walsh Old Girls Association worldwide go continue for support government by the fight against the coronavirus where they now na the country. But waiting this support meant to the Macaulay Street Hospital, Aisatu Kamara, na the senior matron at the Macaulay Street Hospital, explain.
On behalf of the staff and management of Macaulay Street Hospital, I am delighted and I feel appreciated. I want to appreciate the AWOGA Association for paying a keen attention to Macaulay Street Hospital. Macaulay Street Hospital can be found within the environs of the Annie Walsh, and most of the girls from this community attended the Annie Walsh Memorial. So I want to say a big thank you. Though the government is doing its own bits, but it's a big strive of excellency to AWOGA for complementing the efforts of government. And I really want to say thank you. And for Macaulay Street, I think we have to adopt a word named AWOGA because they are paying special attention to Macaulay Street Hospital.
Dr. Amadou Joanna, na the medical superintendent na the Macaulay Street Hospital say, then supplier can dey write them because they go use most of them na the isolation center where they get now na the hospital.
One of the challenge get for deal with say we really need more support because we not get no NGO supporters, na only government of Salone, na then the support we. And as a result of that, the hospital will only function adequately when you get NGO supporters. And a time like this, we just get few cases, then when they come in. And because few cases they come in, at the end of the day, the hospital not go generate fund we go able solve problems them at the hospital. We first of all grateful for such opportunity. that is, them play a very great role because the donation here them be very timely, one, and because then timely we will use them for the exact purpose we meant for. And each of them thing there go play a great role, especially for the isolation unit, for the staff them as a whole.
Dr. Amadou Joanna end up call on other Soyat organization them for support them with different thing them so that they go able for help government for fight the coronavirus where they now na the country. For Radio Democracy, Kabia the report.
We continue with the program Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. 077-981-981 na the number for send you message, or if you watch we through Facebook broadcast, you can same way so send we message on the issues them where we they discuss na the program this morning. Well, as you hear from one part we headline them today na the program we they look inside the operation of the situation room na the National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center NACOVAC. Well, the situation room now one part the key pillar them na the response management of the coronavirus. This room they work as the information hub. We're responsible for manage and collect data and self-analyze this data as well for reports to the public about how the coronavirus they go na the country and self the people them where they infected by the virus, the one that way they well and the one that way they die from this virus. Well, at the studio this morning, I want to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Issa Bangura, in the Strategic Communication Liaisons Officer na the National Situation Room under NACOVAC. Good morning, Colonel, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, my sister. Good morning, noble Salonians. Good morning, healthcare workers. Good morning, everyone.
Alright, as I don't explain briefly about the situation room, it clearly shows say when I get a strategic role for play in the fight against the COVID-19, because now they're in charge of all the data them, analyze the data there and self-report to the public through NACOVAC about how the fight they carry on. And we don't they participate from March to now, where Salone begin for register confirmed coronavirus cases them. And the case them just they go up, we don't pass 1,000 cases now. As it is now from the data I get from the situation room, how you can describe the situation where the country they in the fight against the COVID-19?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ms. Sister. The current situation in the fight against COVID-19 with regards to Sierra Leone, we dey on top of situation. Sierra Leone dey on top of situation. Simply because the government of the Republic of Sierra Leone, they don't take proactive measures for able fight this fight, and we come out with a lot of restrictions, a lot of measures we then put in place. We go able respond as required, and one of these measures now be for create the National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center with a NACOVAC, and we may work under one of the pillars then with the situation room, where as you don't give a summary of what the situation room they do is key in the fight against the COVID-19. You talk about that the National Situation Room now the information hub of the COVID-19 response process. That's a fact. This all the data where they come into the situation room, we get for sit down as a team, do the analysis, we get for do the analysis there, and we get for put them into a situation report as well as into presentation we will give to the senior management for a timely and informed decision. And Lord don't forget the situation room, as you say now, one of the elements of the COVID-19 response mechanism, it gets a lot of people with identity from different MDAs, from different sectors, but I think they will come to Dandy. And Lord look at, say, the situation room, they also provide a common operational picture of COVID-19 situation and response activities on a 24-hour basis. This means that we get people that we day during the day, we get people that we sleep in the situation room. So whatever situation that happens, whatever incident, whatever alert, then go respond to them as required. So the current situation is that we are on top of situation, although we get cases when they come, but the cases that we record now as compared to the past week very encouraging.
So,
that for tell you we dey on top of situation.
So look at the situation room work. Is it for analyze the data them where they come and send them out, or when also they create information or awareness campaign message?
Well, the situation room basically it coordinate, it collaborate with the risk communication and social mobilization pillar, where at the end of the time, at the end of the day, and then get for send in the required information to the general public. Of course, we get the COVID spokesperson, Mr. Solomon Jamiru. We get the pillar lead with Mr. Harold Tucker. And what we need now just a liaison we get in the situation room, where for you to coordinate, cooperate, and collaborate with this then people that for you to get the required information. But it's not only about collecting, collating, and analyzing real-time data or information for where they come from the field. Because when they do this, now for we able to ascertain the current trend of the COVID-19 threat and respond management mechanism for an informed, timely decision making. But with the brief, the director they brief the national coordinator on other key partners of the COVID-19 response management on a daily basis, and then briefing where we provide them in the situation report form, we provide them in a presentation, we provide them in weekly report and also monthly report. So the situation room, national situation room, is key in the fight against COVID-19.
All right, continue for the week winner the program. Lieutenant Colonel Issa Bangura, Strategic Communication Liaison Officer, will come out from the situation room under the NACOVAC. Well, where we come, they can look at on a reporting pattern and how effective the reports they are, so don't be in the fight against the COVID. Well, when they come back to we other studio guests, as we all know, June 13 every year and a day where the United Nations be don't put aside for celebrate the International Albinism Awareness Day. Well, this year theme na made to shine, where them pick this theme for this year International Albinism Awareness Day for celebrate the achievement and success them where persons living with albinism don't make all over the world. And the same way so pick this day as way for support albino them where they go through discrimination and other challenges them at in various community outside and Kintap. One more time I want to welcome Mohamed Kelfala Sise, Programs Officer for the Salone Albinism Organization. Good morning, Mr. Sise, one more time.
Thank you very much. Good morning, listeners, once more.
All right, every year where this day reach, we can get one in our studio outside when they talk about on our organization them, because not one other one then they and serve some party things them where una don't they go through as part of the challenge them una don't they continue for the talk about. But before we can look at the challenge they are so this year where una they celebrate another awareness day for people living with albinism in a salon. What in exactly day for let una celebrate as well they join other countries them in the world?
Well, a lot they follow we celebrate actually, because like you rightly say, this particular day set aside for create awareness, and through this awareness we don't create year in year out. We don't see a lot of people now don't they able to step up for live up to them dream. Of course, in the area of education, if I would say first, you know, when they see people every day live with this condition, they're able for acquire education up to university level. But of late, because of awareness who they raise, they find out say a lot of our colleagues are now they're able for get education, and at the end of the day, then they will attain up to university level. So these are some of the things that they celebrate, because whilst they create awareness, we see now persons with albinism they come off the hiding places. Wherever you go now, they see people involved in the area of education, in the area of entertainment, in the area of sports. They see persons with albinism themselves now they come forward for show themselves. So I think say that not the waiting we try for achieve, like we can try for create awareness, and like I say we don't see people and they come out and be very much outstanding in different walks of life where they live with this condition.
This year 2020 is a year of one way no sales through. How we don't turn like for the albinos them during this COVID-19?
Well, it's very much challenging, because we all know the COVID-19 and everybody's fight, and how it don't affect every other person, not to talk of persons with albinism. But the good thing is that since we don't this sick care don't come where we don't follow, we don't discuss it with members, then we don't get any member who will say don't get that particular sick day. But you look at how they affect people economically and otherwise. I think say similarly, so it don't affect people where they live with this particular condition.
So look at the campaign we una don dey undertake year after year during the kind celebrations there. So what are some of the action plans there, and how far una don go with them?
Well, basically, the first campaign we've been take on, we now been the first project we've been do with support from OSIOA now for promote the lives of the rights of persons with albinism in Sierra Leone, and that one they've been go a long way. So we'll be able to do a research, and from the research as well, we'll be able to popularize the research by going to schools and also strengthen regional networks. Them we are always strive for instill a confidence in we members, and because the main thing about we young condition therefore do with the discrimination way we they face, because a lot of people they look at the condition say this person are different somebody, so wherever you go, even a public place, somebody will get what you get for say towards you, or if you're not strong enough, now they go let you down. So that's not the message we don't put every year in and year out in the programs them. Now that's whatever you do as a person with albinism, you need for believe in yourself, you know, for take yourself say you're not inferior. The challenges are many, ranging from the education, the medical areas, because you talk of education, like I say earlier on, we to make many of our colleagues are not been able for land book, and because of them, the shame whether they provoke them, whether they go to school and they left, and some man because of the eyesight as well, the school authorities are not even get an understanding. They say person with albinism for the occupy mostly the front row at school. That again we don't be challenged, but with intervention, I believe so we don't try for reach out school authorities and other people for tell them some of them things they are.
Alright, Mohamed Kalfala Sise, Programs Officer for the Salone Albinism Organization, continue for the between the program, as so they can talk about different program them when they do for mark the June 13th every year when the International Albinism Awareness Day. When they continue with the program, well, as you hear from we other headline, the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education don't put July 1st this year as the day when they open school for all school picking them where they na exam class where they sit the Becker, WASC and NPSC. Well, inside March this year, where Salone begin for register confirm coronavirus case them, government and world body will command them being pull precautionary measures them for tap the virus, making us scatter all over the country. Well, for sake of the measure, they also be make the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education be lock all school them force. June 9 this year, the ministry again be all critical meeting with all stakeholders them na the education sector. Also they make decisions say then for open school them for picking them within an exam class them July 1st this year, for making them students they also go able for begin go school, do revision, look at the notes them and put tentative dates them where them for take them various exam them. Well, now the studio this morning for can look at this decision after a critical meeting where the ministry be all with the educational stakeholder them. We get Ibrahim Sharif, when a communication specialist from the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. Mr. Sharif, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Yesterday we see the ministry be pull a press release. Usai owner being put some advisory for school owner them and head of schools after a critical meeting where the ministry be all with stakeholder them na the education sector. First, let we begin look at. Let's go back to some of the reason them where we make the ministry been say let them lock school force as part of the precautionary measures them where government been put with well body will command them. What thing don't change? We make on our all this meeting and decide to say school for open.
Well, just like how you rightly introduced the topic, the what it don't change now two factors. One, now the concern where the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education gets over the candidates then for the public exams, namely the NPSC, the Becker and the WASC examinations, that we as a country, Sierra Leone, we are part of a body where they participate in the West African Examination Council. And so other countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, the Gambia, you know, then they're part of this organization. And so there are plans for, say, their exams here to take place. And so Now this necessitates the need for let the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education call together critical stakeholders, the like you don't put on, for let come and brainstorm and discuss and see the need for whether we for open schools for let them picking the go take the exam. You know, immediately when schools been closed on March 31st, 2020, one of the first things what the ministry do was to put together an education emergency task force. Inside that task force, they will get 5 pillars. One of the pillars then are school reopening pillar. And that school reopening pillar, if you don't, they go to work. And their responsibility now be for advise the ministry and the government on when we feel say a relatively safe for let Pekin go back to school. So based on the advice and based on the consultations, now that make way we decide say at least it's necessary for me to take the exam.
So now this task force be advised the ministry say term them like this na safe term for lady picking and go back na school, because you make mention of sister country the way belong na the West Africa Examination Council, Ghana, Gambia and other one them. Looking at the cases the modern country then they register with how Salone they register cases them, you they see say clear differences there.
Well, you see the task force, the school reopening pillar in decision or in negotiations or in findings now been just one of the reasons why schools then go for open for the candidates then. Now in make way the ministry after we don't receive that advice from the school reopening pillar, they decide for call a stakeholders meeting, a critical stakeholders meeting. And so inside that meeting they then discuss the recommendations from the pillar, and based on all other circumstances, including the regional agreement, you know, with the West African Examination Council, all of these things put together now lead to this decision right now. So not only one reason, you know, now several reasons that will lead to this. And you know, we get for consider say picking them at every tick of a clock, they add to their age. And so this is very critical for not to miss out from a very critical examination.
We can look more on this issue in name na Ibrahim Sharif, communication specialist na the Minister of Basic and Minister of Education. We come back to you after this break. We continue the program. Good Morning Salone.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody elect you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office elect you not get the account number. Buy Edsalite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
Commercial Bank. The program is still listening to na Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM and through we partner stations them across Salone, where they bring you this edition of the program. Good Morning Salone. Musa is Kamana Minim.
And Mina Khadija Bangura.
We still get Ibrahim Sharif, a communication specialist and Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. Before we go for the break, you will be to talk about the plans and structures them we will not put in place for ensure the examination class then resume for attend by July 1 this year. We look at the Temu school being locked March 31, where Salone not being reached this level in the COVID fight. Now we get more than thousands of cases of COVID-19. At that time, you been think say it been necessary for lock school, especially for the examination class here.
Well, first let me make one correction. We don't put any things in place for ensure say schools don't open. The announcement now first we don't make. The next stage is going to be in collaboration with other stakeholders then, like the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, the Emergency Operation Center for COVID-19. We get for now sit down and plan as to where schools then open, where them picking and go back to school for them prepare.
The examination class, Beke, was and the
yes,
UPSC.
Right. Where then go back to school for prepare for the public exam, how then get for sit down a class, waiting at some of the school safety protocols, waiting then get for consider. And so now that's going to happen. Now, this decision will make so the Ministry of Health and Sanitation and the EOC, they were part of the stakeholder consultation. So we'll not take them without them. So in fact, they no say this now a decision. And in fact, now then input wouldn't give with the input of other critical stakeholders, then I lead to this. So everybody is aware. This is not to just NDSSC do.
You say on not put measures them in place yet for where they picking them they go back now school as to how on they place them in classes as social distancing now one very key in the fight against the COVID-19, and then picking also get for go sit this public exam. And we all know how it can turn like during the examination days then day. Waiting at the first things them where una get for ensure say una do, because when you look at the time where school for open at the first, when I get a little over 2 weeks. When I think say this time enough for put all the measures they are so in place, disinfect the schools them, maybe try for separate the school picking and all, it take a lot of preparation.
Yes, I think say there is enough time for them able to do that. The only thing we're not go make the announcement today. The press release don't explain very well that the next stage is going to be that we get for consult with the stakeholders them, especially the Ministry of Health and Sanitation and the Emergency Operations Center for COVID-19, for let now decide on how where schools then open, waiting are some of the considerations, waiting are some of the rules and regulations. Because you see, we get to accept say the prevalence of COVID-19 in any country don't change almost everything. Things they not get to be the same, where schools then reopen, especially. So we get to consider that when them PK don't go back to school for prepare for this exam, how they get for sit down, how they get for interact, waiting are some of the rules that we don't get for follow. So in fact, one of the things that we'll get for do is to reactivate the school safety protocols them. How for wash hand, waiting at some of the health, steps that we get for consider where you did in school as a pupil, as a student, or as a teacher, all of them here. But we're not going to talk now, say we don't do them, because if I talk say we don't do them, there are need for give them steps in there.
You
so
make
we don't
mention
do it.
Somebody go like.
You make mention of one very important thing where you talk about the rules then. And when you look at the period where school be done lock from the 31st of March to now a long period small. And some of them picking their done date at the various community them. Well, body work man then don't they tell we say the coronavirus then a community transmission level. Then picking they come up from then different community they come back na school, they can't get interaction with them company school picking them. How una go ensure say the ministry monitor some of the rules them where una get for put let not be so una go sit down at the ministry say okay these are the rules una na the school owner they una try for implement them.
Well, it's not ever possible for let the ministry just sit on a ministry and watch Pekin and Dana school. And also, this get to happen in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation and the Emergency Operations Center of COVID-19. I mean, this is not to ordinary times where schools just they open, all man go back to school. This school they open at a time where we get health emergency. And so the one that way they manage that health emergency, we're not going to let them be in, where they try to do something like this. So this is not a time where ministry officials go just sit down at ministry and allow the Pekin. We get for monitor every step of the implementation of this whole steps. So we do it in collaboration with all the other critical stakeholders, not only even Ministry of Health or EOC, other critical stakeholders, including parents. Then say they forget their own education as to how when the Pekin had all left school, go back now us how they for manage the situation.
So you talk about meeting with stakeholders, especially from the EOC, for ensure they will put plans in place for reopen schools for the examination class them. Considering the connectedness of the laws and regulations of the COVID-19, reopening of schools also go lead to something where people go advocate for the inter-district lockdown for pull ban on, and because students then be don't go offline, some don't travel different side and get for come back. Una take all this to consideration.
Well, that is not the job of the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education.
But if they talk about reopening of schools, get for no or give provision for the people and we get for Canada schools.
When we call this critical stakeholders meeting, we will talk about now education, and all discussions hovered around that. So if issues about inter-district lockdown and all of that, not the under we purview. So what I try to say is that in as much as a very important issue that one day, but for right now, the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education purely concerned about the children of this country, especially the public examination candidates.
So if you open school, then the PQA for attend school, no they will say in school day. What are the provision? What are the think for put in place now for the kind situation then they?
Well, I don't know what that mean because whosoever school the Peking day school day, just like the normal things that will be gone. If the Peking don't travel, they don't go to another city. Then now you want to come back. Of course, where they for apply for pass. Where the parents then go able to apply for pass, and the process then they would go through for that picking go back.
When I don't think about that.
We think about all of them TRD in place. I mean, it don't happen before even this meeting. That's where you want to travel to another district, you get for take pass. So if you apply for pass and then get them, then it will go back. But I know say they will get them.
Continue for the return of the program. Ibrahim Sharif, communication specialist from the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. We come back to Mohamed Kelfala Sise, Programs Officer for the Salone Albinism Organization, Tuba, at the International Albinism Awareness Day. They talk about some of the things them where the organization don't they do for empower albino them. Mr. Sise, let we look at some of the things them where year in year out and don't they talk about. One of the major things here are discrimination, where una they suffer from una various community them, and self medical facility where una don't they get. We make reports on the show say plenty of una don't they lost their life because of poor medical facility where una don't they get. How una don't they use this day for all negotiation with stakeholders, them authority that we concern for bringing their own issues there so at the table for discussion.
Well, like you rightly say, I think the issue of discrimination and the medical issue now one very much key. Even in the research we've been doing, 80.18% of people and say that they discriminate against them in community and other places. But talking about getting stakeholders involved, well, we don't need kind of beats because even the time when we've been doing the launching of the report, we get different stakeholders and including stakeholders from the Ministry of Health, and we will not even pay visits there at one time. And but it actually challenging because this year itself we've been imagine similar situation we are in. We for like get a seminar we are in for able to bring the stakeholders and they together. But being that because of the COVID that not going to happen. So as the day itself is set aside for creating awareness. The waiting we want to do as a Sierra Leone Albinism Foundation and for make sure say we embark on massive awareness raising campaign that make tomorrow, like you rightly mentioned, we go for CC within a different media house there, including the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, who will do there at 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock tomorrow for talk on issues that really affect we and how the stakeholders them for make sure say them put things them in place for better we on life. Because like you mentioned, the issue of health is very much key to we because again, most of the people we get this condition, most of the sick we then can talk about, it got to do with the skin. Because of the sun not friendly to it, they find out say the sunburn and other things then can affect the skin. So I think say that now we a major area where we can talk about getting a dermatologist. Well, we get one dermatologist when Mr. Tamba within Ikowa Street, we can to read most times. The great colleagues then can get a student, they can direct them to but not much. I believe say we need more from the Ministry of Health and government for make sure say people who they live with this condition, whenever they face them challenges, then they especially challenges we get for do with their skin, they're able to attend to them. So at the end of the day, we know we'll see colleagues and continue for lost their life like it don't happen.
Year in, year out, not only campaign and advocate for different things for improving our life. Anything don't change over the years.
Well, some things they don't change because like I rightly say at first, people not being where they live with this condition. Like me, where I go na college very first year, I've been pay college fees. You understand? But because of the awareness what it is, because we know say an act where say any person with a disability, of which we persons with albinism are inclusive, we not for pay university fee. Last all the years there now, we don't embark on that campaign. The people that we live with this condition, as soon as they can go to university or any tertiary institution, we can channel them case to the Disability Commission, and at the end of the day, they can get education at the university. They're not can pay. So I believe that in one thing we don't change greatly, and even in the area of discrimination, because of the awareness who there is, they find out over the years a lot of people they discriminate against we. But now you like if you walk on the streets, if hardly somebody call you or name way, now you will say it's guy for provoke you. You don't see, though it still happen, but I think say it don't reduce. So I think say we don't get that impact in terms of the awareness who there is.
Alright, continue for the week to the program. Mohamed Kalfala Sisi, program officer for the albinism organization. Quickly, we come back to Lieutenant Colonel Issa Bangura, we na the strategic communication liaison officer from the National Situation Room, we they under NACOVAC. A better way we just get united as we talk about school reopening and the preparation. You come on at the situation room, where na the information hub, when I get all the data and when they analyze the data, so as well where una don dey use for reports to the public as to how the cases them they increase, how the patient them they recover as well. The ministry yesterday been pull a press release say that they reopen school, and the public don't they see increased number of COVID-19 cases. From the report and analysis on that they do so far, you think say it's safe now for less school open, although not just picking the within our exam classes them they gonna school?
Well, thank you very much. That's a very salient question. I think say say school open now. It give you a time frame.
July 1st. We're not just 2 weeks away from
and
now.
And I'm sure it do in consultation, like we don't tell you with the EOC, of course, Minister of Health. I'm sure they'll be represented in that meeting. And these are the experts. We're not the frontline workers. We will give special advice or specific advice for make the reopen schools. The issue again when I asked them about how the inter-district lockdown will affect. Indeed, if we go for look at that critically, if schools then they open, then we still get the inter-district lockdown, meaning we need for put measures in place. And of course, NACOVAC, of course, the authority leadership of NACOVAC will look into how they will come with an area or a situation where the Peking and will go in schools. And coming from that, I think let's just give you a left few for just 1 minute the key issues there or key roles they already perform. My sister will provide technical and other advisory support to all DCOVACs. DCOVACs means district COVID-19 emergency response centers. We'd also advise and recommend to the national coordinator on resource allocation for the various DCOVACs for effective response operations. Again, additionally, we will provide a general oversight, like we don't talk of the security situation, regarding contact tracing, surveillance, quarantine, and also psychosocial support, and the rest will ensure the effective tracking of COVID-19 response key performance indicators as outlined by the NACOVAC.
Okay.
And finally, we will ensure the effective and recording of all information, documents both hard and soft copies where they coming into the
Lieutenant Colonel Issa Bangura, Strategic Communication Liaison Officer na NACOVAC. Could they come back to you for continue for giving una rules and other issues them na the situation room. The program na Good Morning Salone will go for a short break. We can continue the program.
Better don't come, better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, that's alone for me and you. Kids future savings account. Ide, school fee savings account. Ide, pay advance salary scheme day. We branch and they all love but na salon. Okono kenema, we dey. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we dey. Jala Freetown loan sa, we dey. And my lengthy one, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank na salon for me and you. Union Salon Banko, Union Trust Banko.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
Call 117 anytime you begin feel fever.
The coronavirus dey na salon now. Na sick, we don't kill plenty people in the world. But if you do wetin well body will command them, they say make you do. And self report quick. If you fear not say you get sign or any person near you don't get same sign them, it's possible for let the person well.
The well body workman say for let the sickness scatter all sign at the country. If you don't get nothing for go do not eat, sidom na os.
Go dey wash your hand fast with soap and water, or you use hand sanitizer, so that the tumbu go die if you don't can your hand.
When you dey waka, let for go dey touch them wall and then railing them, because you no go know that don't touch them.
Not forget, call 117 if you get person wey sick na you host or you community.
And Osiwa support Radio Democracy for bring this message to you.
The program na Good Morning Salone where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM and we partner stations them across Salone. We continue for look at more issues inside the program. We say Prison Watch Salone as part of the union support for help government inside the fight against COVID-19 don't give 6,000 face masks to the Pademba Road Correctional Service. We say the head of office na Prison Watch John L. Coker say this na part of the new support for help government inside the fight against COVID-19. He talk more to Sabtiu Kalon inside this interview.
Some presentation and they conduct training for the email leaders them who they in charge of all the blocks in the Panemba Road. We know say this pandemic day, the COVID-19, the prison management and the correctional management I don't call upon we for ensure say we able for provide support for the inmate leaders then so that then say go help them company with the inside the yard for learn them about the prevention of COVID-19 at prison. We can support them with face masks and the male correctional center will provide 3,000 for them. We each email group will get 2 at least for the user what in a detention.
Okay, so in terms of the face masks, the Atunayon contribution at the male correctional center. Before we do this donation, at this let me tell you from this center say na the most thing we they need right now.
Yes, this is a request from the regional commander. When we conduct the trainings for the officers them, the junior officers them, now the regional, he called we say, I mean, I don't provide the Veronica buckets, I don't provide hand sanitizers, I don't provide the other prevention materials. But the most important thing are the face masks. See the image they need them because they get for begin going to court. If you're not getting, they're not going to allow them for going to court. So then they call upon we that if we're able to support them in providing them the face masks, then we'll be very happy. Okay. So we'll come back and get back to partners then. They agree for provide the face masks for them.
So in terms of the face masks, not just for this Pademba Road Correctional Center or not for other center them with easy na then?
No, the face masks will provide to 8,500. We cover all the correctional centers in the country. But we they provide training for 8 populous correctional center. We get high population them. And in those populous prisons, we get for good day with them face masks there for supply for presenting on the day of the training. So just like go to the Canada Panama Road, they work out the face masks. The day after the training, we will ensure say they supply the inmates them all for benefit for get them at least for use them for them prevention and protection.
As you don't emphasize on this training to prison and then the training are on waiting so exactly.
Now on COVID-19 prevention and response.
In terms of the different support on don't again a different correctional center there. We think say workman and prisoner they adhere to the preventive measure them.
We they go round now because we don't do the first set of training. We they start for go round on Monday for see whether really watching the people then go learn and they adhere to run. Now an impact assessment we they go on, even though we go do another training for the set of inmate leaders them, but also we go do an impact assessment for which we don't go learn officers inside the previous month, whether they can replicator and they do well and then correctional centers them.
Well, in name na John L. Coker, head na Prison Watch Office. They talk to Sapti Kalon inside an interview for seeker support. We then go get to the Pademba Road Mail Correctional Center. The program na Good Morning Salone.
We continue with the program and we look at more organization them where don't they give support to the fight against the coronavirus. Well, the Intellectual Royals Foundation, now one part of the organization, yeah, this BNTM, then be go na the King George's Home, na Grafton Blind School, and other place them na Freetown, outside them be go give support to people for sake the coronavirus. Ibrahim Soare, na the chairman for the Royal Foundation Club, he say the organization decide for give this support as they own help to government by the fight against the coronavirus. Theodore Arena get more and he go now report.
Plenty organization and individual then don dey show concern for the less privileged than during this COVID-19 sickness within the country. And one pande organization there yeah, na the Intellectual Royal Foundation, we don't go work on a plenty less privileged host them, like the King George's Memorial Home na Grafton, the School for the Blind na Wilkinson Road, and other one them for give their own support. Ibrahim Soare, na the chairman for the Intellectual Royal Foundation, he say them in fair not say plenty pandemic people are not able to go out now and get food for themselves.
We already know say this country they face a pandemic and the people hungry situations are not easy, and we don't see clearly how His Excellency and the First Lady thought and fit for able to provide food for the needy, and the Royal Foundation being a foundation where they take care of the needy, we thought and fit say we were able to provide food for the needful. And we decided for Cannes at this Memorial International purely because we know saying for the aged, and the aged not get opportunity right now for go find food for themselves. So if we get donation for Guy, we decide for come here and see how we go provide that food day for them so they go able for live and be happy.
Ibrahim Soare continues say now for that reason yeah make them decide for go give them rest, oil, Maggi, face masks and other thing them we go help sustain their life.
We'll make sure say necessary items, food items, then we go just go able for keep them for few days, like rice, yabas, oil, sugar, salt, coffee, and the rest of it with water. Above all, we bring for them masks because we know say masks very, very important right now, and because of their status, they need to get masks so they go able for preventing from this corona. We already know say even around the world, the aged there are people who easily, if they are affected with this corona, will kill them because of the system. So that's why we decided for able for make sure say we get marks for them so then go be able for the use the marks for prevent them from the crisis.
One pandemic institution they also been receive the support. Now the School for the Blind at Wilkinson Road.
This wonderful day and a day where we also need popularity despite the situation where we find ourselves today in Sierra Leone, not only in Sierra Leone but all over the world. We still need popularity, particularly so where we brothers and sisters from the Intellectual Royal Foundation decide for come visit we many institutions then they Boku other places then they, but for the mere fact that they decide say they will come and bring smiles, good smiles, wonderful smiles, faces for members of the Milton Magai School for the Blind in itself na a good venture.
In name na Sally Uture, where be they talk for sake of the support where the Intellectual Royal Foundation go get to in school. As all this they be, the Fullerton Descendants Union don't go give rest, water tank, face masks, and other things to the Fullerton community, where cost over 15 million loans. Where if they talk for sake of this support, the president for the Fullerton Descendants Union, Fatou Taki say, then decide for give this support because them fair not say people waiting at the Fullerton not done they wash their hand, use face masks and other thing them where the well body workman then say people for do.
I also noticed I know see people that they like wash their hand when they go say oh get Sarah or go distribute something or go donate something. People that they get together. But they know they use masks. And Mr. Sassi, I don't see I'm obeying that sin of obeying. You know, a cross section of we more together stand and see what we do. So we will not just stop. Some people are, you know, so now on that we don't take the past week, 1 week, 1.5 weeks, now don't organize. We task we said, all man do what able.
Fatutaki continue for talk about some pandetin them where then go give to the Fullerton community.
We donate them for 200 liters water tank there because we want to put in a strategic place them along mountain top. So it pass wash them. We also do a jingle where we think say for within the community, then they play them like not twice a day or 3 times a day. They walk around with megaphone. They remind people. Sometimes okay, sometimes you speak them forget. But remind people and say that this time they say wash your hand, wear your mask, sanitize yourself and anything. We also buy sanitizers them. We will walk alongside the water machine them and hand soap. So you don't need for giving a bath soap when you go touch it, you go left and day. Because this one, now one way you know the touch. Now you put to the press, it give you soap, you press back, it give you water.
Inside Ion talk, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Constituency 123 when a Fullerton, Liadi Aladi, when a descendants from the Fullerton, say then get for put it tank then a important place them na the Fullerton community.
Well, we don't get certain areas that we want for distributing at the Fullerton community. One will begin up Mountain Court when a Province Street, the other one will put on by Peter Street, the next one will put on by Adiudin Street, and the last one will put on at the junction of Fullerton Mountain Court for Kamo. Well, I want to say thanks, first of all, to the name again, descendants of Fullerton. This comprised of different people we born here. Some of them in America, some of them in England, some of them even in here. But all this praise they go to Dr. Fatutaki when I start this year, so I mean bring the initiative.
Honorable Liadi Aladi be end up call on people in the Fullerton community for make them go to wash their hand and use the face masks them so that the sick no go spread na the Fullerton community. For Radio Democracy with support from Mange Mansare, Mina Theodora Arena the report.
GhanaSongs.org.
They causing confusion.
But this confused me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in Wall Solid. Look him block them with them beat for him, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen, me wall down for them, all the block they all don't scatter. It like say some kind magic they behind this. You want know the magic behind this? Now the superior